Hello everybody, my name is Sniper is Fun, and I welcome you all back to my next top 10 list I'm presenting to all of you here on YouTube. This time I'm going to be tackling yet another fighting game that was just recently announced, the new Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, that's going to be set to come out next year for the PS4, Xbox One, PC, and because of the connection with the company, I feel the Nintendo Switch might actually get it as well. But so on and so forth. I'm going to basically be doing some top 10 lists dealing with character predictions, character speculations, characters I would actually like to see in this game. But due to the fact that there's two different sides to this, this game, Marvel and Capcom, I have separated them into two different lists because that's the only way to really be fair in terms of judging characters I would want or characters for the game, because it would be unfair to mix the lists together and do Marvel and Capcom characters together, because then one side might be, outweighing the other. So I'm going to be doing two separate lists. This right here is going to be part one of the Marvel list, numbers 10 through 6, and then I'm going to be doing 5 through 1 with the honorable mentions in part 2, and then I'm going to be doing a separate two-part list for the Capcom characters. Just wanted to quickly let you guys know that, in case you're wondering, why I'm only doing Marvel characters for this list. This is a Marvel character-specific list, and there will be a specific one coming later on down the line, shortly thereafter, whatever, for Capcom characters. And it's for my top 10 new Marvel characters I would like to see in Marvel vs. Capcom, Infinite. And then my top 10, obviously, the next one, my top 10 new Capcom characters I would like to see in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Before I get started, I wanted to say one thing here quickly. This list was started before I actually seen the trailer, because I was considering doing eventually a list for a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and they announced again Capcom vs. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So I slightly adjusted the list based off the trailer. So the characters that were showing up in the original trailer adjusted my choices, and before I even get to the Capcom list, Mega Man X was originally on my list, and I had to take him off because he was announced for the game. He was going to be my number one. Now I have a new number one, and you know no idea who that's going to be until you see that list. But it also slightly affected my Marvel list as well, because of the rumored, at the end of the trailer, they shown like the villainous character sitting in their chair with Two-Face, and people keep speculating that Sigma from Mega Man X and Ultron. Ultron was originally on my list, and I removed him because of the speculation of that. So just want to let you guys know that before I get started. And one other thing is, for each list, one character for each list, I'm including not just a newcomer. These lists are specifically for newcomers, but one character on each list is not really a newcomer, but it's a character that hasn't been in the series since like Marvel vs. Capcom 1 or 2. They weren't in, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So I'm going to basically consider them a newcomer. So each list will have one Marvel and one Capcom character that is basically a veteran to the series. They just weren't in number 3. Just want to let you guys know that. This is the Marvel list. Before I go and take forever with part 1, I want to quickly get this started so it doesn't take too long. And I hope you guys enjoy this list. But number 10, we will start with Black Cat from the Spider-Man universe. Now, Black Cat has been a staple character in the Spider-Man universe for a long freaking time. She's basically almost like a cat burglar type character, like a person that, I think she was originally supposed, as far as I can remember, she was originally semi-antagonistic, but not really a bad guy, not really a villain, but she was kind of not really on Spider-Man's side. And then she eventually becomes a partner to him, like Daredevil becomes a partner to him, and characters that kind of Punisher and whatnot have come across helping Spider-Man before. She's basically a female cat burglar type character, fast. Obviously her name's Black Cat, so she kind of takes after a cat, like speedy fighting type creature, kind of thing. She's a fast fighter, and she can do quick combos. And like I said, she's iconic to the Spider-Man universe, and now that Spider-Man is getting, I think, more spotlight in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think they might want to feature more Spider-Man characters, and she's one of the side characters, like a good guy that I think would actually make sense for the game. Her fighting ability, like I said, she'd be a fast character that does speedy combos and stuff like that. And if Felicia from Darkstalkers is still in the game, we have an easy Black Cat Felicia, not because they're cat-related characters, is rivals from each side. It would be pretty cool. And I actually do like the character. I think she has a cool design, cool outfit. She's a unique, popular Spider-Man character, and she's one that I think really would fit into the game well. And I don't think she's been in it at this point. But she certainly isn't one of the Spider-Man characters we've ever seen in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. So her chances, I don't know if they're really big, but I think it'd be kind of cool to see her. Now we go on to number 9. Number 9 goes to Quicksilver, a staple X-Men-esque character that has had quite a bit of recent use, as you can see with this picture. You have the comic book version. This is from the Fox, X-Men films, and then the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. He's been used everywhere lately. He's still a major character in the comic books. He has an interesting, he's popular, he's requested, I think, quite a bit. He's not the most requested character I see from the Marvel side, but I do see him requested because of his importance recently, his moveset, being a speedy fighter that could slow down time and use his speed to his advantage. Be kind of cool. A character specifically having a moveset based around being able to go super, super, super fast. And you can kind of correlate, different aspects of the different universes and kind of maybe do different costumes, like the comic book version costume, the Fox costume, the Marvel Cinematic Universe costume, and have him in there. And if Magneto's still in the game, he is Magneto's son. So family feud right there. There you go. You can include him and have Magneto fight Quicksilver, father and son. There you go. And I do want to see him. He is a cool character. He's not one of my favorite X-Men characters, but I do like the aspect of him being in the game. I do like the character in general. He's not one of my most requested characters, which is the reason why he's number 9. But he would be cool to see, and I would like to actually see him, especially if they can incorporate the different versions of him from the movies and whatnot, as well as the comic book version, as costumes or something. It'd be really kind of cool. And the connection to Magneto would be really kind of cool, because we kind of need to see that, I think, a little bit more than they've been doing it recently. Okay, that's my number 9. Let's get on to my number 8. Luke Cage. Now, Luke Cage, Power Man, would be very interesting to see because it's a super powerhouse character that just, he's kind of almost invincible to, damage, kind of, he's basically really strong skin and everything. He really can't be hurt all that badly. And he has a super strength that just can destroy everything. He's a really powerful character, which, yes, is not really super original, but we haven't seen too many characters like that besides, the Hulk in terms of the Marvel side for Marvel's Capcom, so he'd be kind of sticking out as a super powerhouse character. And like I said, I just named 2 characters, Black Cat and Quicksilver, that are super fast and agile type characters. This is, going to be a total opposite, where he's going to be slower and more powerhouse and just can deal with heavy damage. He won't be super quick in combos, but he can deal heavy damage if you can be good enough with him. And his recent surge in popularity because of his Netflix show is kind of cool, and he's still using the cartoons, still using the comic books, and there you go. It's just a character that's recently been getting a lot of eyes on him. He's been put in the spotlight lately and been used a lot more. How about we throw him into Marvel vs. Capcom, because then you can show other sides of the Marvel Universe besides just the Avengers and the X-Men, because there are a lot more to Marvel. There is a lot more to Marvel than just the X-Men and the Avengers. So, even though he's technically kind of in the Avengers anyways, but whatever, just diversity in terms of characters, and Luke Cage is pretty cool. And I think he deserves it at this point, for how long he's been around. That's my number 8. Number 7. Apocalypse from the X-Men universe. Now, before people... I know I've heard all the stupid rumors about, no, X-Men this, and Fox owns that, and they're going to go with Cinematic Universe this. I don't freaking care. X-Men, and I didn't mention this at the beginning of the list, X-Men are some of the most popular Marvel characters in the world. It doesn't matter if they're in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or not. They're still in video games. They're still in comic books. They've been around since the 60s. They were the original big popular team for Marvel. Before Avengers got super pushed to the moonlight and back, it was the X-Men. So there are, in my opinion, I don't think the rumor of them being no X-Men, which I think was just debunked anyways, is gone. Because there's no way you can cut characters like Magneto or Wolverine. So, I still think there's going to be X-Men characters in there, and so we new X-Men characters in there. Because X-Men is still one of the most popular IPs, more popular franchise group of characters that Marvel still has, and this is called Marvel vs. Capcom. Not Marvel Cinematic Universe vs. Capcom. So, I know I didn't mention it at the beginning of the list, but I was going to include X-Men characters on here because it's me picking Marvel characters as a whole and not limiting myself to some stupid rumor that I know for a fact is not going to be true. Apocalypse is on my list because, and I'm sorry I got distracted there because of talking about what I should have talked about at the beginning, Apocalypse is a badass. Apocalypse is awesome and like the major X-Men villain, basically, besides obviously Magneto. But it's basically he's like the end goal, the end villain in like a lot of the cartoons. He's one of the major villains in the comic books. He's like the first mutant that's just big brood of a villain character that has like a giant hand rifle gun, does all these powers, and he's basically super strong and everything. If there's one new X-Men character I think should be in there, he's not my most... I feel there's other X-Men characters that might make more sense for new X-Men characters, but I think his inclusion would be cool because of his importance to the X-Men universe as a whole, because he's been there pretty much for the longest freaking time since the comic books have been around. Important to like every different aspect. He has recently the X-Men Apocalypse movie, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's a good movie or not, he finally got on the big screen. He finally got a movie role. And he's been around the cartoons for a long time, since the 90s cartoon and X-Men Evolution in the early 2000s. And he's been in the comic books for a long time. He's been in video games and everything. Give him some spotlight. Give him... we need more villains in this game anyways from both Marvel and Capcom. Give us a major X-Men villain that's not just Magneto. So there you go. He's not my... Like I say, he's not my most requested wanted X-Men character, or a new X-Men character, but I put him on this list because I really would like to actually kind of see him and think he would fit quite well. And that's my number 7. Let's get on to my number 6 and end part 1 with Black Panther from, Marvel, Avengers and whatnot. His recent surge in popularity because of, Civil War, obviously is a major reason I include him on this list. He's a freaking awesome, cool character that can fight with his claws. Black Panther can fight. He'd be like Black Cat, kind of like fast, and he knows fighting styles. That he can kick characters' butts. He's become a lot more popular recently because of his inclusion in Civil War. He's getting a movie next year, I believe, or was it 2018? I forgot exactly when. He's going to be important to the cinematic universe. He's still important to the comic books and cartoons and whatnot. He's been around for a while. He's now finally... He has historical stats with Marvel. His moveset would be interesting, being a quick fighter that does... Like I said, it's like Black Cat. The reason why... it's like the quick combo, fast character with different fighting styles, except he'd be more toned because he's more trained in fighting than I think Black Cat is. But I forgot now because it's been a while since I've really seen anything Spider-Man for Black Cat, so Black Panther probably would be a little bit more up on that notch in terms of fighting skills and status, being who he is actually, and where he comes from and his training and whatnot. And you got Black Panther, you got, they say they want to focus a little bit more on the cinematic universe. I think it's going to be it's going to be a focus, but it's not going to be a major focus. The reason why I think they're going to include characters that are still popular in the comic books but have yet to be in a movie yet. That's the reason why Captain Marvel is going to be in there. I know she's getting a movie eventually, but our movie's not out yet, so there you go. And it's Black freaking Panther, and he'd be one of the most unique characters, I think, to include in the game, alongside Wolverine and Iron Man and Thanos and Gambit and whoever the heck you want to add in. I said Iron Man already. Thor and whatever the heck else. But I just named Luke Cage and Quicksilver. I don't care. He'd be a cool character to include. He's my number 6. And that's going to end my part 1 on this list. I hope you guys liked this video. Put in the comment section what you guys think. And stay tuned for part 2 coming up shortly, where I'm going to be talking about my number 5 through 1 honorable mentions for new Marvel characters I would like to see in the upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite coming out next year. Stay tuned for part 2, everyone. See you all later.